Hi, I'm David Council from Inferno Marketing and Design, and welcome to another Insider Marketing Secret. Now, in a moment, we're going to talk about when's the time to replace your old website. But before we do that, let me just remind you, if you know someone who could use our help with advertising and marketing, then please put them in touch with us or us in touch with them. We'd love to have a chat with them about their advertising and marketing. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get into the Insider Marketing Secret. This is one I get asked a lot. When is it time to replace my old website? Reminds me of a joke that, I don't know, from the 80s in a comedian. And he used to say, if this happens to you, you might be a redneck. All right, well, this is how you might know if it's time to replace your website. If your website is slow to load, you might need to replace your website. If your website's been built since before the iPhone existed, you definitely need to replace your website. If your website has Flash in it, you need to replace your website. If you haven't built an autoresponder into your website, it's time to replace your website. If you tend to think of your website as being a brochure rather than a salesperson, it's time to replace your website. Now, the list goes on and on. There are so many things, but I tell you, most people will fall into those categories. You do need to replace your website if it is older than 7 years old. And that's not because it's getting old and starting to limp and smell a bit in the corner. It's really because the iPhone existed from 7 years ago. And the iPhone changed everything. And if your website isn't working on a mobile device, you really have to replace it. After all, 80% of all browsing that's done is done using a mobile device. And that's a mobile phone or a tablet device. And if people can't see your website clearly, it's not modified for being mobile on their phone, they will bounce. They will go somewhere else and you'll lose the business. If you're treating your website as if it's a brochure, just lots of pretty pictures and nice text, it's time to replace your website. Your website should be helping you make sales. So that's the short list. If you think you fall into any of those categories and you want to ask more, then please give us a call. We'd love to have a chat with you and help you when it comes to updating your website. But for that matter, it doesn't matter who you talk to, get your website updated. And remember, if you're going for a website that's ultra cheap, you are going to get what you paid for. Until next time, I'm David Council from Inferno Marketing and Design. I look forward to talking to you then.